Everything burger, all varieties, everything you need to know about burger.
Innovative way of non-flipping, so you don't flip it. How?
What made McDonald a McDonald's? But unscripted, what comes to mind?
Yeah.
What are your favorite in the four categories?
120 to 150 is a good size single patty burger.
That innovation can start by a simple sauce all the way to grilled cheese.
The meat is the hero.
Welcome to another episode of Burger Unscripted. Everything burger, all varieties, everything you need to know about burger. And no grill, no grilling, and no eating. It's gonna be a podcast sitting on a chair and talking for hours about burger. Ramsey, how many burger varieties you think we have?
Oh, too many. There was a restaurant I remember in Los Angeles called The Counter. I think it's still around. The Counter gourmet burger, not gourmet burgers. Sorry, The Counter custom built burgers. The word custom built. It was over hundreds of different varieties of how you can build the burger, and a fact of how many burgers do people eat in the U.S. Over 50 billion burgers. 3 times a week, the average U.S. family eat. That's a lot of burgers. That's a lot of burgers.
So imagine a mathematic, how do you call it? A mathematic equation. So how many buns? Hundreds. How many patties? Hundreds. How many condiments? Hundreds. So multiply hundreds by hundreds by hundreds. So imagine how many billions of ways you can do a burger. And it's not about get me a bun, get me a patty, and just fill it up with something. It's about how do you like it and a million ways. And the change of flavor goes from being not good to being great in just a bite, closing your eyes and feeling all of these things, all this party happening in the mouth.
Yeah, absolutely. A party in the mouth is exactly what it's all about. And some more facts. Let's do a little bit more facts. You know that there are square burgers, right? Mm-hmm. Famous Wendy's. But why? Where? How? It started earlier again in the 1940s or whatnot, 30s, 40s again. Don't quote me, but it's in that same 10 plus or minus. There was a place that the owner used to visit every day. He loved it. And that owner was the owner of what we know, White Castle. White Castle has a very innovative way of non-flipping, so you don't flip it. How? He has 5 holes. He creates 5 holes in it. There's a machine, obviously, that punches it. And you have these small sliders of square burgers. People think it was innovation, it was trend, it was not. Actually, it was square footage of the grill. You can fit them beautifully next to each other, not have to flip them. So speed and efficiency was what it was all about, which McDonald's, we know, that was their claim to fame. That was really what they were doing, was the efficiency of how they did it. So the square burgers started. We have that, which went to White Castle, Wendy's, and whatnot.
White Castle is the first franchise
it was a strong franchise, yeah.
That created
in the Midwest, yeah.
That set the burger as being a fast food, and they had created a square meat just for you to see the meat or the patty outside of the bun to prove freshness.
Absolutely, to prove freshness, and that's where all the players that we know now, back then, strive to be fresh. Never frozen, even today, in and out, we know, never frozen. They don't have refrigerators. Like, they don't have freezers, for their burgers. So these are sort of claims to get you into the better burger market. And then you have, I mentioned this earlier, the sliders from Cheesecake Factory, which was also, brings us till today, sliders. Sliders was also brought back, maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago. We had a lot of slider stations, slider this, slider that, and it was brought in to parties and whatnot. All of these have been done before. So this is why I'm saying the burger is here to stay. It's how you use it, what you use, again, the ingredients that you use, the quality that you use, that actually elevates the burger.
When we watch documentaries about meat or documentaries about Les Gaulois or documentaries about the old days, usually you had that piece of meat, or they would go hunting. You would kill a deer or a pork or whatever, a boar, and then take the meat and eat it. Fast forward to that, and around the year 1300, the Mongolians, probably by chance, or probably they would want to do that, they tenderized the meat by just sitting on it and mashing it in a way or another. Fast forward to that French with the perfection of improving, or the perfection of quality in the food, the Michelin star restaurant later on, the French monarchy, and how food was a different level of not just eating but perfecting eating, or the journey of eating good, have taken it and created the tartare. That tartare, did they create the tartare first, or we did create the kibbeneye first? I'm not sure.
Exactly.
We're not going to debate that point.
That's another podcast.
Yes. Fast forward to that, the Germans reinvented it in a way or another, and the burger was created. All of these were probably unwritten journeys, or written journeys about, or imaginations to how the Americans took the burger and perfected it. And we cannot deny the fact that burgers today are American, burgers today are how the Americans have pushed them. And the famous company that made burgers famous all across the globe is McDonald's. Did you know that McDonald's sold 100 billion burgers in 1993?
Wow. And think of that. 1993, guys, not now.
So imagine now probably it's five times more.
That is insane.
What made McDonald's a McDonald's? What made McDonald's is sustainability, same quality,
Absolutely.
and systems. And what we lack in the small restaurants is the lack of systems. So systems is, did you know that McDonald's grill is the only grill in the world that is double-sided, so there is no flipping? So it's a double-sided grill, same thickness, same grill all across the globe, in more than 28,000 plus restaurants in the world. I'm sure there are 16,000 in the States, so I'm not sure about all the numbers around the world. Same grill, same thickness, and the quality goes on and on and on. Same bun, same press of the ketchup, so it's one and ketchup comes in. Same salt for the fries, same everything. So anyone non-educated can create a burger and have the same burger all across the globe. And this is one of the things that made what a McDonald's burger is all around.
Yeah, McDonald's is, let's say, the godfather of what we know burgers today. As you said, their speed, their efficiency, their quality, at the time, making sure that everything is done systematically, got them to where they are. And also, a little bit of strategy. We all know Mr. Ray Kroc just loved good old American name, McDonald's. So having that, and keeping that part of his portfolio, he didn't call it, Ray Kroc's Burger or anything like that, also benefited a lot for people to build affinity. Of course, the arches and whatnot, we can go on. But yes, McDonald's is a history in its own.
So different varieties of burger. Let me take you back to when I used to write on my blog, nogalikroins.com, and I wrote the first article celebrating the 28th of May, which is International or American Burger Day. And back then, I wanted to prove to everyone and inform everyone that you cannot compare all burgers together. So when someone says, what is your favorite burger? You cannot answer McDonald's. You cannot answer Five Guys, because you would definitely harm a gourmet one. So let's put them into 4 categories, which I have created a very nice poster for. The 4 categories would be a fast food burger, a fast casual burger, a diner burger, and a gourmet burger. So when I would ask you, what is your favorite burger? You would need to put it in one of the categories, in my humble opinion. So you cannot compare a truffle burger that is $100 to a Big Mac that is $5. You cannot compare a diner kind of burger that you grab off the counter, enjoy it in the car, etc., to more fast food burger. So accordingly, we need to agree on the different categories that are differentiated depending on time of making, time of creation. How much time does a burger need to be done for? 3 minutes versus half an hour. What are the ingredients put into it? And most importantly, at the end, price.
Yeah, price for sure. Would you say, I've kind of categorized them into 3, taking exactly what you said. I've clubbed 2 together in there. Would you agree or not agree? And if not, why would you think that they're still separate? What are the factors that keep you separate? So for me, it's the fast food, which is, we know what they are, the usual suspect. The second is the fast casual, and I've clubbed the diner in that, and the street food. Put that in together, and then the better burger, which is the gourmet. I've kind of done that. Would you say that it
makes
does.
sense. Makes
You
sense.
know, that way, because price point, they're kind of similar when you go fast casual versus street food versus whatnot. Yes, it's more authentic. The passion is there because they're the, you know, the new and upcoming people that have been doing it and want to, and a way to do an outlet is to do a pop-up and whatnot. But as a burger, they're still giving you, whether as a smash burger or not, at a price point kind of similar to a fast casual. This is what I was saying.
I'll tell you why.
And it makes it easier, like 3 in my
From
head.
probably from several hundreds of different burger types to millions after the year 2000 with the rise of food trucks.
Yeah.
And food trucks have created that additional category, in my opinion, where a fast food is probably a McDonald's, to give an example. A diner is where you would sit and eat on a plate a burger with a bit of French fries, bit of coleslaw. That burger is not a gourmet, but is not a fast food. Something in between that is averagely priced at $25 to $35 each. And then you have the fast, not the fast food, not the fast casual, but the street food, which is the old restaurants grab in a bag, wrap it in aluminum foil. But it's not a McDonald's. You see, it's not a diner, so it's not on a plate. It's something in between that a food truck would offer you, that probably a pop-up like yours would offer you, but it's not compared to a fast food drive-through. It's not compared to a diner because
Sits in between. Basically.
something in between
Yeah.
that probably
Yeah.
can go with the diners and not, and then way far from a gourmet. So these are the 3 or 4 big categories, and under it we can go for hours and hours and hours of calling them.
Who you put there also.
Who you put there,
Yeah, from the UAE to the States to wherever in Europe, whatnot. Yeah, that's an interesting one of why we would put them in there. But there are usual factors, which is price, as you said, how it's delivered, you know, and how much time. So it kind of fits in there.
Unscripted, so you might forget, but unscripted, what comes to mind?
Yeah.
What are your favorite in the 4 categories?
Oh, wow. I would say fast food. I have to admit, I like my Big Mac. I like how it tastes. And then fast casual, I would say Five Guys. Truck, let's say, I don't really have a truck one, to be honest. I got to skip that one. And then for the gourmet, I'm talking about now, let's say outside of the UAE, probably New York, Raoul's. Raoul's is a fantastic one, or Au Cheval, or Fort Charles, which is almost the same company in a sense. That to me is a burger I'll never forget when I had it. That's what we were talking about earlier. You said it all, which is the senses, from the taste, from the fat, from the crust, the bun, the way it worked together. It was just insane. I mean, I've been recreating it for a long time, for about 2 years, and I think I've mastered it. So hopefully we'll see. It's a fantastic burger, and it's a thick burger, by the way, guys.
So tell me about the different categories of burgers. So let's talk about smashed versus thick versus. So if you want to put it in a paragraph, what are the different categories of burger that come to mind?
So smash burger, which is now the biggest sort of hype. I think there's 2 things that helps this hype keep going and dare I say growing. A lot of people, believe it or not, don't want so much meat. They have this sort of phobia that it needs to be cooked well done. So a smash burger is as well done as you're going to get versus not doing it overcooked because it's so thin. So it really takes minutes and you just flip it and whatnot. And what I personally don't like is the total crispy burger. I mean, to me, that just destroys it. It's again, personal taste. I don't fancy that. I like, if it's a smash burger, it has to have a little bit of depth, a little bit of height, especially when it goes towards the middle, so at least you can have that bite and that juiciness retains it. When you go to the thick burgers, for me, the difference of a thick burger, 6 ounce is good. It gives you everything. You sometimes, depending on what they use, almost tastes like a steak, but it's a burger. Like this is for me quite enjoyable in that sense. Again, don't get me wrong, I love smash burgers. I do smash burgers, that's what we're doing. So we have that down to a science. But I would put them into those without talking about condiments and whatnot right now.
What made smashed burgers so trendy? Is it the ease of use? Is it consumers wanted something that looks more cooked?
Not 100%. I don't think just looks more cooked, but I think ease of use, and people enjoy that. There's an art to it too. When they go and they look at it, and it's, oh, you're smashing it. Oh, you're smashing it with onions, or you're smashing it with whatever X, Y, Z. Oh, look, he put another one on top of the other one. It's a double. Oh, so you have that, and as long as the bread ratio and the meat ratio is on par, it works, and it works.
Ramsey,
Works
since
well.
you're gonna smash it anyway, and since you're gonna kind of destroy it, if I can use this kind of word, so does it make a difference if you grind it once or twice or thick or coarse?
It definitely does, and definitely does. One thing when you smash it, I want to clear up some things. For the thick burger, let's say activists and loyal followers, you're not removing any juice, because what you're doing is you're taking the ball, you're putting it on there, and you're smashing it. So there's no juices to be left out. When you smash it, if you smash it again and you try to smash it again, that's where the juice is going. So the juices is there, it's being retained, and that's something about the smash burger. But going back to the grinds and whatnot, yeah, definitely. The more you grind it and the finer you grind it is actually where it actually starts getting more together. What do I mean by that? Sometimes burgers, which that's how I judge burgers in places. When you cut it, or they cut it in half, or you bite it, I'm going to use a funny analogy, but boxes, like the brown boxes, when you rip it, you have the corrugated, like sort of, that's what it is, because it's so compact, it's been worked together. It's so worked, which is the wrong thing. You lose the looseness, the juicy, the fluffiness of a burger. So grinding it more than twice brings it together. You can do that, depending on the ratio of it. But for me, my perfect grind, one. And you don't mess with it too much. You don't mold it, you don't play with it. Your hands put off immense heat for the amount of burger and the fat. That's why, if you notice anybody who does it properly, they're in a freezing room when they're doing it. And the equipment's almost frozen. The beef is very, very chilled, almost under frozen, because obviously the bacteria works when you're doing it. And it melts. So when you talk about Wagyu, proper Wagyu, we'll get to that later. What is Wagyu? Because Wagyu has been abused, and everybody uses it loosely. It's funny, because if you know what the actual meaning of Wagyu, and when you break it down, it's kind of funny, But if you have that, people use tweezers to handle it, because your hand has so much heat. It'll melt it before you even get to it. So yeah, I think the grind does affect it. When you put it down and you smash it and you start getting holes in them,
so you need to smash it to see the transparency. You need to smash it that much. You need to smash it until it becomes.
You want to smash it. It's not just about the transparency and whatnot. You want to smash it so you can get the Maillard effect, which is the searing, and that happens 280, 300, they say, but if the grill has been on for the whole time, you can get it at like 280, 270, 275 Fahrenheit. Let's talk, not Celsius. You can get that Maillard effect, which is basically the browning and the searing of the meat. That's what you want, and then once that happens, you flip it. How do you know? The liquid that forms. It's not blood, guys. We're going to talk immensely about this, because I'm very passionate about that. It's not blood. The blood is with the butchers. The blood has been left out. You'll get a little bit on the outside if you have a tenderloin in the cryovac, but there's no blood in
Even
there.
on your steak, when you see red in the plate, it's never blood.
No, it's liquid with myoglobin. It's basically water with myoglobin. And when you go into the searing, the more you sear, the browner it goes. So when you have a medium rare burger or medium rare steak, you have the immense myoglobin there, which is red.
Tell me something. In our childhood, like I said before in other episodes, is the butchers around the villages of Lebanon had that perception of, and still do it to date, they would mix the bun for a burger. I'm not sure who told them that whenever it's a burger, it needs to be mixed with something. It's like you're doing a kafta, and with the kafta, you would put onions and parsley and banadura and tomatoes. So why with a burger, they would put an egg and breadcrumbs and Worcestershire and probably mustard. So I asked once a butcher, and he says, you need to put something for the meat to stick together. And we always see in our new world, the Wagyu and the Angus and all these amazing things, even a smashed burger doesn't tear apart, even a full burger or patty doesn't tear apart. So you don't need anything to stick the meat together, right?
Yeah, that's true. And also, they do it in order to enhance the taste. So tomatoes for the liquid juiciness, to keep it juicy. The bread, an egg binder, because that's how you bind it. The real reason is you haven't put enough fat in it. So we go back to this famous ingredient when we talked about burgers earlier, where it's just lean meat and fat. You haven't put fat because fat actually does all that job, and that's where you get everything.
Good fat.
Yeah, of course.
Good
fat.
quality
Good
fat.
and not the gristle. A lot of times, you know, you don't want the
Not that
loose
yellow fat you
no,
throw away.
absolutely. But fat is king. You know, believe it or not.
Smashed burger done as in the categories. Let's move to the normal big patty. How many grams? People ask, how many gram is a good, decent burger?
Look, between 120 to 150 is a good size single patty burger, which is 4 to 6 ounce and whatnot. For me again, but I feel that it is the right ratio. You get the right searing, you get the right thickness. You can enjoy the juiciness because, you know, as a smash burger, your juiciness is this big. As a nice thick burger, you got this much of thick burger. And everybody sees those gorgeous pictures when they cut it and they open it, and you just have this beautiful wall-to-wall, pink, red, whatever. It's fantastic. So I would say between 120 to 150 is a good. When you get into 200 grams, yes, depending on your bun, because you are going to get shrinkage. Shrinkage, huh? Burger shrinkage. You are going to get shrinkage, and that's why people do the indent. So you have an indent when you patty them inside, because then it constricts it and it doesn't allow it to shrink as much.
So when you want to use a double cheeseburger, you would divide the meat weight in half?
Yeah, you can do that to get usually 150. You could, yes.
So the general weight of a burger is 150 to 200.
The general
you cannot
weight.
put 2 to 100. Just 1 to 100, doubled.
You can, but I think that becomes a little bit over. But the general, believe it or not, I was shocked.
8.
100. Yeah, 800. McDonald's 100, which is to me nothing after you cook it, because this is all before. Nobody gives you weights, after cooking. They always sell you, it's a 7 kilo brisket. Yeah, Habib, 7 kilo brisket becomes 4 if you're lucky.
What is a gourmet burger for you?
A gourmet burger is a burger that uses high quality ingredients, and I say ingredients from the bun, if you have a sauce, the actual beef. That is a gourmet burger. It's not because you added truffle oil, that's not even truffle, you know what I mean? It's not because you shaved truffle on it. It's not because you put Parmesan or something on it, or you used a chocolate bun or whatnot. It's a gourmet burger is a burger that uses high quality ingredients that work together, because you can do a lot of high quality ingredients that don't work together. That to me is a gourmet burger.
What are the adaptation to burgers? So burgers have been adapted to brisket burger, to roast beef burger, to thinly sliced meat burger. So going back to the origins, should a burger be ground beef, or you can put a piece of steak inside it and eat it and call it a burger? Is a burger anything meat between 2 buns, or is it ground beef between 2 buns?
I would allow creative license to say meat between 2 buns, but preferably it's ground meat, because then that's the burger that we know, that's the burger that got evolved. I want to ask you, what's your take on a gourmet burger?
A gourmet burger is a burger that we need to start by the little things. So one, time of preparation. So time, it's not about waiting, but it's how much time did it take to perfect the bun, to perfect the patty, to perfect all the ingredients. So how much time did it take to be done? How great the presentation is, so it cannot be oily and wrapped in paper, etc. 3, what are the ingredients used? So the ingredients need to be something that you cannot use on a normal basis in a normal burger. So upscale, very high-end ingredients that comes from sourcing the flour, to sourcing the sesame seeds, to sourcing the beef and what kind. And then what kind of fat and what kind of beef and what is the creation that you have tried to create between probably getting Wagyu fat and prime American chuck or whatever. So it's how much did you put into it, and then what is the innovation that you added as a fourth layer. That innovation can start by a simple sauce all the way to grilled cheese, all the way up to aioli something, etc. So it needs to have one, so my eyes need to eat first, my nose would get satisfied second, and then when I eat, have it in my hands and bite into it, I need to feel something that is beyond what a normal burger can give you. Let's take a step back. I love Big Macs. No onions, my way, Big Mac, simple. And I've had the chance to go in the kitchen and do my own. You can turn a Big Mac into a gourmet burger just by giving it more attention and more time. And between doing a burger in 3 minutes, because we don't have time for more, and taking your time to creating your own Big Mac, and instead of 2 patties, putting 4, and adding enough cheese, and layering the ingredients one on top of the other, and spreading the sauces adequately on all the buns, and giving it a little bit time to reheat when they don't. And all of these together would turn from good to great. If you only just put a little bit of butter on the bun and put it on the grill of a Big Mac, imagine how the differences you can have. Imagine the flakiness of a bun. So that gourmet is probably does not have a certain criteria, and we cannot say if it's $50 and above it becomes gourmet. No, it can
it's
be
not only about price.
bad things, and for you to pay $50 in an event, you would pay $100 for a burger just because it's a rip-off at an event or other things. So it's a thin line of understanding your food and knowing what is gourmet and how is gourmet. But it starts by, in Arabic, there is a saying that says, الأكل انطارة مش شطارة. So it's how much you wait on the food and not how much you know how to do it. So take a thing and wait on it and give it enough time, pour more passion into it and give it enough love and pamper it in the best way possible, would just turn a burger to a whoa kind of effect.
Do you think, because you mentioned 3 patties, 4 patties, do you think that there's a limit to what you can do for the burger? Like, nowadays you have a 3-way, a 4-way, which is a number of patties and whatnot. Is it just gimmicks, or it's their part of the burger staple? At the same time, you have also on the flip side a can that you lifted up and you've got cheese and now they're crushing Takis and I don't know what on it. What's your feeling towards those?
I'm not a big fan. I'm not a fan at all, actually, of a word in Arabic called تخبيص.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure in English what it becomes. It's about
It's just messy.
putting everything in with everything.
Yeah.
I don't like food trends. I cannot imagine. I like modern food. I'm into modern cuisine without messing with the origins. Yeah. So I'm not sure how chips Oman would come to in a burger.
We agree on all of that, that's for sure.
I don't know what a cheap yellow, they call cheddar cheese, is not even cheese, comes in and covers a burger. When the patty is expensive and more expensive than that, drama put around it. So innovating is nice. Reinventing is amazing. Upscaling is great. If imagine us eating the burger of the 1900s, it doesn't work. We have evolved depending on the quality of ingredients we have, but there is a limit of. Would you eat a chocolate hummus?
No.
I would eat a basil hummus. So keeping the hummus, feeling the chickpeas, feeling the olive oil, feeling the lemon, and then adding the basil for the smell. But chocolate doesn't work. So accordingly, yes to inventing and reinventing burgers, no to messing it up and just eating it because it's a trend. And unfortunately, I can do hours of podcast about it. We are educating our youth to eat wrong, and they're eating whatsoever. They're following trends. Putting chips Oman in a shawarma is wrong. Again, we're not bashing chips Oman, but it's a good chips to be enjoyed watching a movie, but not in the food. So food trends are letting people eat wrong. Sha'iriyya in a chocolate. Sha'iriyya is for rice.
What I'm hearing, which is wonderful. This is how I grew up, and this is how I see the burger, because we're focusing on the burger. The meat is the hero. Doesn't mean the bread doesn't play a role. Doesn't mean the other condiments play a role if you like condiments on your burger. But the meat, staying true to the essence of what a burger is, it's the meat. Now, we can talk for hours that, yeah, but I don't want it to be. It's my preference. I like X on it. Absolutely you can. But if you want to talk what makes a burger and where it came from, that's where you have to stop. When you start adding and doing stuff, you're taking what it was to something else, which is not wrong. It's not my cup of tea, as I say, or coffee.
More teasing. You want to know about all the meats? What is the perfect meat for your burger? What kinds of meats? What is a Wagyu? And what is an Angus? And what is the difference between an Angus and a Prime American? All of these answered in the next episode of Burger Unscripted.